Hi, this is Judy Trusz, and I am doing my analysis for Module 3 of a course. I took a class the second half of the fall semester, ACTE 625, Technology and Assessment for Learning. And what I've done is I have created a slide deck that shows each of the sections of the QM rubric and what I found in this course. So I'm going to start with the number ones, and you'll see up here I have just copied what each item is and below what I found and where I found it. So the first section, one, it got 17 out of 18. The only thing that I couldn't find were prerequisite knowledge of the discipline or required competencies, but that might have been, when you were signing up for the course. You might have had to do that. That's the only thing I can think of. But other than that, the table of contents and the start here, course orientation and overview had an introduction to the purpose, the essential components. In the intro video was the minimum technology requirements and computer skills. The netiquette was in communication expectations, and the syllabus had academic integrity, and there was an intro video from the professor that had her introduce herself. So if I jump into that, I will show you that there was a module 0 that literally said start here. This has everything that I just mentioned. There was also a video here of how to navigate the course itself. I'm not sure why it's not coming up. There it is. Okay. So then for number 2, the learning objectives in the syllabus, it had every objective. Then within each module, there were also learning targets. And then for the 2.3, it says learning objectives or competencies aligned with state standards. I don't know. Are there college standards? I don't know. So I'm not sure about that one. But the objectives were written in student-friendly language. So if we just jump into the first module, you'll be able to see the overview here with the student-friendly language of the learning modules. Okay. So that got 9 out of 12. I took 3 points off because I don't know if they're standards. So, if there are and they relate, then it would have gotten 12. The third one was on assessment and measurement, which was basically what this course was all about, which was fantastic. So they got all points on this one. The assessment consisted of they were consistent with the learning objectives, and each module had reading checks, discussion posts, and projects. There were rubrics provided for performance assessments and projects. There really wasn't an assigned opportunity for student reflection, but feedback was really timely and concerns were addressed. Anytime I had a question or a concern, I received an email within a day. There were definitely different methods of assessment. I mentioned that already. And where can you find all the scores? In the grades tab. Okay, so let's jump to that and see if I can show you here under assessment in the grades tab. All right, so then the fourth section, instructional materials, they were parallel to the learning objectives, and each module included links to any material outside of the textbook. It was on reading level. I guess that it had sufficient breadth and depth. I felt like it did. I don't know how much of an expert I am on that, though. There were citations included for each module and in the syllabus. The course contents included exactly what that says about having it free from bias. So we actually talked about that in the course. And of course, there was no adult content or advertisements. So that got a 16 out of 16. In section 5, learner activities and learner interaction. There were a few less points on this one simply because it was an asynchronous class. Um, the objectives were stated clearly and all the activities were parallel to those. There were lots of different kinds of activities, performance tasks, projects, and quizzes. There was limited learner interaction, but we did have discussion forums, and we didn't really get to talk to the instructor since it was asynchronous. But again, she communicated um, very quickly if we needed any help or if I needed any help. Um, Yep, told us exactly how to email her so that she would see it if we put the title of the course in the note. And um, yes, every time that we had to post something, she told us exactly how many posts we needed to make, just like Ollie does. I guess maybe I ought to jump into one of the modules to show you that. Okay, so module 1, there you always had to do a reading check. Here's a project, and then this was create a video, and in the discussion board, reply to 2 posts right there. It said that, and then again explaining exactly what we were supposed to do. Course technology, oh, this is where I get to complain because I think Design to Learn, the D2L platform, is terrible and is difficult to navigate. Um, you definitely have to learn how to navigate it. Um, does it promote student engagement? I would say the discussion boards do, but anytime you want us to create a video, it has to be outsourced into like Flip, Screencastify, Screenomatic, whichever. Does it take advantage of technologies and tools to protect students' privacy? Yes, I think so. And the technology is current. I completely dislike having to jump in and out and being kicked out of D2L so frequently. But that's just my own personal opinion and it has nothing to do with the professor who created this. Learner and instructional support. All of this stuff can be found in Module 0, the university supports. 3, it says articulates and links to resources of support effective course facilitation. I don't know what that means. And I tried to figure it out, but I don't know. So I can't give that any points. Course instructions articulate or link to the institution's accessibility policy. Yes, there is an accommodations link on the syllabus. When we go to section 8, accessibility and usability, I thought the course setup was logical and consistent, but the program D2L or platform D2L is inefficient and is not intuitive. Then the next part asks for readability, so I went to this link for the readability level, which was at college graduate, which seems appropriate. Does it provide accessible text images? I didn't find one photo, but I know that to determine if a photo is accessible, you have to right click, click on inspect and accessibility. So I had to give that a 1 because I guess she just avoided photos, so she didn't have to deal with that. The videos, though, that she posted were closed captioned. Um, Course multimedia facilitate ease of use. The video itself assisted you on how to go about navigating the course. And there was a course overview in Module 0. So this is probably the lowest score that I would give, 11 out of 16. And then looking back at the playbook, the credibility I think is a little more difficult to assess in the asynchronous format, but her opening video was very warm and inviting, and she had reliable and regular feedback, more than I have ever had in any class. Clarity, the modules were really well organized with learning targets detailed and success criteria. There were even often exemplars available for us to look at, which was very helpful.